Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the David Hunter Scott channel. This is episode 10. So we finally made it to the 10th episode. This is so exciting. And today I did promise you yesterday that we're going to look into the page structure today. So let's do that. Let's look into the page structure and learn exactly what the code is involved in making the actual page itself, the code that the browser actually understands. So we're going to be looking at the HTML tag, which actually is how you start the whole thing. Then we're going to be looking at the head tag, which is like the brains of the operation. That's the easiest way to think of it. Then we're going to look at the body tag, which is how everything looks, where you put all the content of the actual page itself. So let's look into that now. It is really exciting, so let's get started. So today in this episode, we're actually going to start off with a brand new file. You don't need to delete the file you've already got, just create a new file and we're going to give it a different name to what we had before. So this one we're going to call structure.html. And just say yes to that message. That's only because it says that you're changing the file extension, which you can easily ignore. So let's right click on here and open with Notepad++. So here is our editor, our lovely little editor. So, let's start off with the HTML tag, the very core basics. HTML, go down a few lines and close it off. Simple. Come into roughly the middle, which in this case, since we went down 4 lines, it's actually line number 3. So let's tab in. This doesn't actually matter, you can do it on absolutely any line you want to, folks. So this does not matter at all. Spacing does not matter. You can put in as many blank lines, as many spaces as you actually want. You don't even need to put tabs where I'm putting them either. I'm just doing that to make it look easier to you because I think it looks much prettier. So it's really up to personal preference as to what you actually need to do. So let's do the head tag. We start off with the opening head, then we go down and put in the closing head. That's us. We've actually now given our page a head. Surprisingly enough, there's no foot tag. There's a head, there's a body, but there's no foot. There's a footer, but not foot. And I'm going to demonstrate exactly what those do in a later video. So in today's video, we're actually going to look at the head tag first of all, and in this tag, we're going to show you how you can do the title of the page. Now folks, the title of the page is what appears in your tab. So when you're in your browser and you've got several tabs open, you identify each one by looking at the title that that page has represented itself as. So the title tag that you put inside the head tag is exactly how you specify the title of that page. And it's used in the title of the page, the title of the tab, and it also usually also appears in the actual title of the browser itself as well. Of course, that depends on what browser you're actually using. So let's find out how we can actually identify this tab and distinguish it between other tabs that we may have open at the same time in our web browser. Let's take a look. So how we do that, folks, is we actually use the title tag. And as you guessed, it's title. I normally leave the title tags on the same line simply because it is usually just one line of code that we're needing, whereas other tags normally have multiple lines of code in them or multiple lines of text depending which tag it is, which is why I usually use multiple lines for those tags. But in this case, for the title tag, we're just going to leave it on the same line. But it is up to personal preference. Spacing does not matter, so you can do this if you want to. But I'm going to leave it on the one line. So what should we call this page? Well, we're learning how to do the structure of our website, so let's call it structure. Simple. Remember, what you put in here is what will actually be displayed to the user who is browsing your website or viewing your web page. So make sure it is something that describes what's going on, but keep it short because they will only be able to see a certain amount of it. So in this case, the word structure is fine. And also remember, case is of a matter here because the exact case that you use will be the exact case that appears on the title bar or the tab. So in this case we've just written the word structure with a capital S because that should do good when we go to view it in our browser. At this point I'm going to save the file using Ctrl S on Windows or Command S on a Mac, and we're just going to view that in our browser. So let's take a look. And as you can see in our browser, here's our tab and it says structure. Now like I said, it depends on what browser you're using, because as you can see the actual title of the browser, there's no title here, so it's just in the tab. But that doesn't matter, we've made it short enough to be seen inside the tab space, because as you can see there's not a great deal of room here, so we can't write out a full sentence, but we can definitely identify it with just like 1 or 2 words. Next we're going to learn about the body tag. So let's go back in here and put in body. Now the body tag is actually how things look and get visualised on the screen. So you put all your text in here, all your images, all your colours, everything that's being presented to the user goes inside the body tag. The head tag is more of the brains of the operation, so if you need to actually do any functionality or actually do anything, it's really hard to explain without actually demonstrating with code, which we're not actually going to do too much of at this stage, but think of it as the brains of the operation, because your brain is inside your head, so that's exactly where that goes. But when folk are actually talking to you, look at your face, not your whole head, and they also watch your body language as well. So the body is more of the visual element here, because that's where you wear your clothes and your actual person. So that's the visual element of you as a person, so therefore it's the visual element of the page that you're actually viewing. So let's take a wee look at what we can do inside the body tag. So inside this body tag, we're just going to put some text. So to start off with, we're going to put the title of our page. And I usually like to use heading number 1 for this. And if you remember from our headings video, that's H1. We're just going to put the word structure. Simple. Let's save that using Ctrl S on Windows or Command S on a Mac. Let's go back to our browser and refresh. Now you can see the word structure here in big text and in bold. That's because it is actually a title and a header. Now let's enter some sample text using the paragraph tag. This page demonstrates the structure of an HTML web page! Exclamation mark. Save. And now we see that text on our screen. So that is the very bare bones structure of an HTML page, folks. And that's all we're going to look at in today's episode. This is episode number 10, and I'm so excited to get other things out there for you to learn. So we're going to add some more images into our page. We're going to maybe start looking at some basic styling as well. So I know you guys are probably excited for that, because with styles we can actually choose absolutely any colour we want to. So remember when we went back to I can't remember what number the episode was, but in a previous episode, we learned how we could colour our text, but we could only specify the name of the colour. So now we're going to look at, in an upcoming video, might not be the next one, but it'll be an upcoming video at some point, we're going to look at styling, which will include colouring text and different elements on our page using absolutely any colour we want to. And there's a special website that we can use to generate the actual hash code that we need for the colour, because it's in hexadecimal format. It's a hexadecimal code that we need to specify what colour we want. We can also use a red, green, blue value, or RGB for short, So if you know the exact red, green and blue values that you want for your colour, if you're an artist, then you may know that. But we're going to look into that at some point, but that's for another video. So styling is coming up very soon. We might do it in the next episode, I really don't know. So I want to hear your comments. So comment below this video, tell me what you want to see in the next video or any upcoming video, and we'll start styling really soon. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It is episode number 10, so we've actually made it to episode 10. I think I'm going to take a small break now before I make any other episodes, because these episodes do take a lot of my time, and I want to see how you guys get on with these episodes first before I make any more. But stay tuned to my channel, stay tuned to social media, that's at David Hunter Scott, to learn exactly when I'm going to release new videos, and to also contact me as well if you have any problems. But you can also just leave a comment below and I'll still monitor those at the same time. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. Leave a like if you really liked it, subscribe if you're new or if you want more videos just like this one, and also comment below with any ideas or problems, or even just to chat with the community, whatever. So I will see you next time, folks, and thank you for tuning in to Programming with David, episode number 10.